Rappers and music producers, we are here for an impromptu live session where I want to chop it up with you guys. And I definitely want to keep a good conversation going about or centered around the topic of why I have a new mindset about YouTube. But I want to make sure I say hello to the chat just so you guys know this is live. And yeah, we're going to get right up into it. But I want to see what the community is looking like right now. Busyworks Beats, what's up? Tyler, Med Game, King Beats. All right, we starting to pile in now. Good, good. Juan, what's up? Angel Ray, how we doing? Drummer Beats, Jay Cha, what's the word? Multi, Pearl Manhattan, Raz Rich, Eric Nevo Beats, Rohantic, Little Loss, okay? I don't know how to say it. Exia Lover? Curtis Richmond, Berlin Beats. Excuse me if I'm saying your name wrong. Mr. Annan, Mr. Snooker, made by Steve-O, Mazio, Sorrell. Okay, good. We got a good amount of people in here. So what I wanted to do is use this as an opportunity for a few different things. One, I want to talk to you guys about a new mindset that I have circulating around YouTube, because obviously some of you know about Curtis King TV and where things went in terms of transitioning from doing YouTube videos to just doing main focus Curtis King TV. And at the moment right now, we have 826 members right now. And so that's still alive and thriving. It's definitely a beautiful situation, something great that I'm glad that we put that together. But at the same time, I left a lot of you guys on the other side, and most of you guys that you know got that smoke in terms of me leaving, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't, your doing. I was mad at YouTube for a second. I was a bit angry because of all the changes occurring. And let me tell you something really interesting that happened when I did this. So obviously it was a very emotional time for a lot of us, specifically in hip hop, specifically those on the West Coast. Nipsey Hussle had just passed away, and we know one of his main messages was ownership. You guys know that at that time, I was already sort of on the fence about doing YouTube because of just, the platform as it is. And I was really, really going through it. And so I'm thankful because what's going on, Lifestyle did it. I'm thankful because it created something amazing in Curtis King TV. And for the last 6 months, oh my gosh, we invested over 320 hours, live hours, daily hours, Monday through Friday. I was basically sitting in with folks just like you within the community. Rappers and music producers from all around the world would basically jump in with live video sessions, and then I would do my best to answer questions and solve as many problems as I could. And it was an amazing situation. We don't do the daily workshops anymore, but for those that were a part of it, like Med Game, who's in here right now, you guys know that I gave my absolute best in that situation. I love doing it. And so I learned a lot, not just about the community or those of you that are out there, the things that you guys struggle with. I learned a lot about what it takes to have your own platform. And I got to say, I know that YouTube is more than just one person. I got a lot accomplished on my own, but this is not easy. It is not easy to do this. And I know I was pushing for a lot of you guys to have your own, digital real estate. Hold on for a second. I think it's saying that the video has some issues. How's it sounding on your side? Is it sounding good? Put a 1 if we're sounding good. Because if not, I'll exit out of some windows. Let me know in the chat. Even the chat is slowed down. Uh-oh, let's see. For some reason, okay, cool. We're good. All right, I had to make sure. So something interesting that happened. I'm only one person that put together all this stuff, right? I built out the website, the membership website for Curtis King TV. I did it in less than 48 hours. 72 hours, excuse me. I put all this stuff together. I had the help of amazing human beings like BusyWorks Beats, who contributed to getting more content so that people, when they got in there in the very beginning, they had stuff to get to. It was amazing, and it still is amazing with the stuff there. And I'm only building more and more on it. But I tell you what I learned. It is not easy doing this, especially creating something that is supposed to be at the service of a lot of people. And so creating something like I did, I don't suggest to anybody to do that unless you already understand the responsibility and you're ready to take that on. That being said, I have a lot more sympathy for YouTube, even though I was irritated because of all the changes. You guys know all these damn changes that were happening. They're still happening, with the algorithm, with them changing views, changing the viewership, I should say. A lot of stuff is happening that just didn't make any sense. But then I thought about it from the perspective of, if I own YouTube, how would I be able to maneuver things? And what I realize is this: to be angry at a YouTube is like to be angry at a dollar bill for not duplicating itself, right? Or to be angry at something inanimate. YouTube is not a person, right? There's many different brains that go into creating a YouTube. And really what it is, if I think about it, YouTube presented me with an opportunity, the same way that it presents all of us with an opportunity. It presents us with an opportunity right now to have a conversation. It presented me with an opportunity to go from putting out videos to literally, bringing in a few thousand just from video content that I just put out there. Now, mind you, it took me a longer road because in the beginning, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. In the beginning, I had to take a lot of courses. I had to take a lot of consultations. I had to ask for advice. But the beautiful thing that has happened over my now 5-year journey in doing this is that I've accumulated a lot of information. And what you guys have seen with this channel is that I've created a lot of content more so for rappers and music producers, but I have not created a lot of YouTube content. And you would think for somebody who has done this for as long as I do, I would pick up a lot of things, and I have. And something in the back of my mind for a long time was creating a YouTube course, but I was just like, do people really want to get a YouTube course from me? I don't have a huge channel, in terms of like a lot of the folks that I bring on here as guests. I don't get millions and millions of views, even though I have videos that have like 500,000, 800,000, 600,000 views. That's not really the basis of this channel. This channel appeals to a very niche demographic. I like to believe that the people that watch these videos are more than a few levels above the average rapper and music producer. Why? Because you want to know about information that's going to help your mental health. You want to know about information that's going to push you along as an entrepreneur. And so in the past, when I did this, when I did content, I always wanted to push. I always wanted to push upon doing more YouTube-based content. Never did it. And in the back of my mind, I was like, I need to make a course because there's so many things that I have learned that not only, I can show you how to get the views, but the thing about it is the views are not what's going to move your ad revenue. And for those of you that are looking at YouTube, this is the way that you should have been looking at YouTube when I first got started. This is an easy way, a supremely easy way, when you know the system, to create basically to put out your free content to bring on as many people who are looking for your particular information. If you use it the right way, it's not about views, especially when it comes to ad revenue. There are many channels that are making a lot of money that don't have to have a buttload of views. And that's something that I thought most people knew, but they don't know. So that being said, what I want folks to understand is I've been working on a course that I finally finished. It is called The GrowTube King. And if you go to the description, you can get more information on it and go straight to it. But for the next week or the next few weeks, I don't know how we're going to play this. We're just going to play it by ear. I will be releasing YouTube-based content to answer a lot of your specific questions about growing a YouTube, and not just about, because everybody thinks it's about just views and likes and comments, and that's important to a certain degree. But when my channel really started to move the needle from making about $12 a month after 200 videos, into making 120 in less than a month, it had very little to do with views and very little to do with comments. Those were a byproduct of understanding a system in which you become more of a channel that YouTube wants to suggest to other YouTubers. Many people don't know that 60% of your views as a YouTuber come from related searches. What does that mean? That means that when people are watching one video, say from Simon Servita, 60% of my views are probably coming from being a related video that falls on that right-hand pan or that right-hand panel that gives you all that information. That's where the majority of the views is coming. Also, too, the search. But the problem is a lot of people mess up along the way, or they take bits and pieces of information from all these different YouTubers or people who are YouTube specialists, and they don't know how to quite piece it together for themselves, not to just make a bunch of views. I'm not worried about views. I'm literally worried about what's going to make my presentation undeniable when people come across it. BusyWorks just says something right now. Your process on making thumbnails alone is worth the investment. I've been at this 6 years and can't figure thumbnails out. I say you're pretty damn good, BusyWorks. I love your thumbnails. Your thumbnails grab the attention, and that's really what I want people to get from my journey. Is I don't think that you necessarily need to create a Curtis King TV. I think that should be a goal of yours, to create your own and have your own platform, but use YouTube for what it's meant to be used for. This is a free platform, the same way that a lot of you guys are promoting your beats. Only problem is you're trying to compete for keywords that you're just not going to compete for, because you need to have more years and I guess more authority within the scope of YouTube. These are things that I had to learn along the way that I'm glad to have shared in one single YouTube course. And I'm telling you, that is what I put together. I finally got it together. It took me about a month to put all this information. I had to really sit with it and say, okay, take myself away from being Curtis King TV, the YouTuber. If I use this plan and I jumped into making YouTube videos now, would it work? And I used it on my other channel, and it began to work, especially when it came to moving the ad revenue. Now, a lot of you probably are still trying to reach your, the 4,000 watch time and 1,000 subscribers. And I'm telling you, the same system that it takes to move your income up is the same system that it's going to take to push you forward into meeting that criteria. So I want to turn, my goal is for you guys to have the YouTube world be completely debunked. I don't look at any of you as competition. I don't look at any of my brothers that I see on here as competition, right? If anything, I look at y'all as collaborators, allies, or people who have learned from me. So if I can do my best while we are in a golden age, because we can be mad at the YouTube algorithm, we can be mad at them operating their business the way that they want to operate their business. It still does not take away from the fact that we are given an opportunity. YouTube is an opportunity. And if you play it right, you don't have to worry about this being an opportunity that works for every producer alive. You have to worry about it working for you, or a rapper, or even if you're not a channel that is necessarily a rapper or producer. This is geared towards building up any general YouTube channel. Maybe you're a producer or a rapper that has interest in building up something else that you're into. Maybe you're into doing unboxing or reviews, or maybe you have a kid that you really want to put this together for, or your son or your daughter. The same stuff applies. So we're living in a golden age of the internet, in which there's going to be a day we're going to look back at this and we're going to be pissed off we didn't take more advantage of this time. Yes, it sucks sometimes. The algorithm changes, a lot of things change. Yes, it's going to continue to change. But when you understand the tools or the system that I put together that I call GrowTube King, are really just anybody in general that has that information sitting in its own organized platform, I'm telling y'all, you won't have to worry about the thing that everybody else is worrying about. When everybody's worried about the ad apocalypse, you've seen my channel go through all these different changes, and I still stood. Like, even to this day, when I was funneling videos every single day, I was getting it up to a few $1,000s, but even now, I haven't even put up a video. I put one video up a week now, And you guys know that have a YouTube channel, if you're not consistent, that ad revenue can drop off. I'm still sitting around 1,400, right? And that's just income that's sitting there because of all the investment that I made from putting videos up. So check it out. GrowTube King is in the link below. I'm going to have a video tomorrow that's going to be it's going to be pretty much a commercial for it, or what they call a video sales letter. You can go ahead and check it out. It's going to be live tomorrow, but I wanted to have a conversation and answer some of your questions first, because I think a lot of people, they've seen me go through a lot of different changes, right? And what you have the benefit of is that you're seeing a real human being that is making decisions. And sometimes those decisions work. Sometimes they don't work according to plan. But isn't that just being human? So I love being open about this information. I love being able to share this information. And it's my goal to turn so many of you guys right now that have very small channels, whatever you consider small, into beasts. I want you guys to be beasts. I want you guys to take this information and realize that what you learn here is going to be applicable to whatever platform that you decide to push your video content. There are certain things that never change. The necessity, for example, of a high quality thumbnail. I assess you, or I provide you thumbnail templates for Photoshop, or even free platforms that you can do that on. But I want to share with you what's my mindset and how I ended up getting so many of you to watch my videos. There's a science behind it. There's a science behind why do I put certain pictures and images and I piece them together certain ways, or why certain YouTubers do certain things that they never share with you. It's because they look at you as competition. I don't look at you as competition. It's the same thing with the producer funnels. Anytime I come here, I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything. I'm here to provide you with an opportunity. You are all adults out there. Most of you are adults, and you can make decisions upon yourself. You'll look at something, you'll weigh it out, you'll see if it makes sense for you. But I know there's a lot of you out there that would like to know what it requires to make a living, or at least to make minimum wage now, I think is $1,500 a month, right? And I'm doing literally the bare minimum on YouTube right now, and it's falling right underneath that. I'm the bare minimum. That's just one of the streams of revenue that I've opened up. But I know for somebody else, what I look at and I say, okay, that's a nice chunk of change that I help, in some Facebook ads or something. For somebody else, they'd be like, yo, I would love to have that. That would be amazing to look at that every month. And to talk about the things that you love. I think that's the most important thing that we got to think about too. You can start a YouTube based upon whatever the hell you want to start a YouTube about. But if you do not have some kind of a system, it's going to be a challenge. So that being said, I want to answer any of your questions. I wanted to first share my mindset about why, I'm even kind of so much posting here and there. I honestly needed a break from a lot of things. I need a break from being as accessible as I have been. I need a break to recharge. Anybody that desires to be an influencer or anything in that sort, realize it requires a lot of you. And most times we're the last ones to know when we're starting to look like shit. Sometimes it takes a friend of ours to give us a heads up like, hey, man, get some rest. You're looking like shit. So I'm not going to be on here long, but I do want to answer any questions that you have in particular about either the YouTube course, about YouTube in general, or any of that. But you guys know, I know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to the YouTube. And I've been here for a long time. And I truly believe in that anytime you have something that has been of value to you, you should share it. You should share it. And I think the time is appropriate. So that being said, let's talk. To much is given, much is required. DMBs, you are absolutely right. So let's open it up to questions. Any advice on reaching the first 5K sub mark? I'm stuck at 1.6K. I think when you have number like 1.6K, we gotta look at that in a different way. What you gotta look at that as is you have done something successful thus far. I think you need to have a better understanding of what exactly works for you. One way to do that, I want you to look through your videos and see which ones are the highest viewed videos and see what they have in common. If you do that right now, for me, you're going to see the videos that I have that are the highest viewed videos, or the videos that have equaled out. And I don't want to create a correlation between highest viewed and the most profitable, because there's many different factors that I talk about in this course, from affiliate marketing to keywords that are serving a purpose. There are videos that you see that have shown the success of my channel doesn't come from the philosophical videos, doesn't come from the long-winded videos. It comes from videos that are sitting around the 8 to 12 minute mark that are how-to videos. For instance, how to distribute your music, how to create a beat visualizer, all these things are things that are having in common. Like, if I look at it right now, let me actually go to my channel, because I want to check this while I'm talking to you to make sure that I'm completely accurate about it. But that's my first thing. You gotta be a hound dog for your success. You gotta figure out what's already been working for you and how can you duplicate that. Not duplicate the content in detail, but there's something about the structure, which we go over in this course, and there's also something about the kind of content that it is. Roberto Blake, who's one of my favorite YouTubers to learn a lot of information from, he has this system in which he basically separates all YouTube videos fall into 3 categories. One being hero content, which is more cinematic videos that are like, you know, super HD, things that have like really great LUDs and color correction, things that just look like somebody who really pays attention to cinematography. The second one being hub content, which is community-based content like vlogs, things that your core audience would know about, but the rest of the people may not understand exactly who you are. So when you see things like from Superstar O, who does he's doing a new series now where it's more than beats, that vlogging series is considered hub content. The third one, how-to content, which is obviously, like in our world, tutorials and things that show you how to do things. All videos fall within those 3 categories. In some shape or form, they're all part of that tree. When I understood that, it helped me understand, okay, it's really my job as a YouTuber to create only 3 types of content that fall underneath those branches, right? How to, hub, or hero content. When I understood that all of my content that is successful falls underneath that, successful and non-successful, it helped me focus my content. So as I'm looking right now on my channel, what I want to say, let me see. So I'm going to separate it. You guys can't see this obviously, but I'm looking right now on my channel and I'm looking for sort by most popular. And BusyWorks, you asked a great question about what does it cover, and I think I'll have to share the screen in order to do that. But obviously my biggest viewed video is, as a matter of fact, maybe I should do that. I'm going to go ahead and just make my screen smaller so you guys can check out what's going on here, so I can be of value to you here. Okay, cool. So you should be able to see my screen now. And based upon what you see on my screen, the most popular video is this music producer pirating one about FL Studio. It's 869,000 views. That is an anomaly. We're not really looking for those type of videos. Those videos kind of are like lightning in a bottle. It happens for a reason. I touched on something that a lot of people, thought was taboo, and it worked out. I wasn't really looking for that to get my most views. I was just looking for it to get the word out. But look at something like this: how to count and write 16 bars, how to upload longer videos on Instagram, how to easily make a beat visualizer, how to sell your music on Spotify. Now this right here is another anomaly. How to sell your music on iTunes, how to build a fan base. Already out the gate, I'm already letting you know videos that you should start a channel with. What kind of how-to videos can you make? On top of that, you should be able to make a video based upon what I just shared with you right now, right? Based upon those video ideas, I just gave you video ideas. Could you not make a video right now that tells rappers how to count and write 16 bars in rap? I'm not saying it's going to get the same amount of views, but could you not tap into that? Could you not share the same thing and share your own way of counting 16 bars? Could you not tell people how to build a fan base and make a living off of music based upon something you read? Maybe something that you're trying. Could you not tell people how to sell your first beat if you sold your first beat? So these are things that from the gate, I know that kind of video is going to perform even better. So that's important. So one thing that was asked, and I'm actually going to go to the website just so you guys can see what everything is looking like. The GrowTube King course. This is the video that's going to go live. You can check it out tonight, but it's going to go live on the YouTube. You can see right here, it is $97. And let me tell you what's so amazing, or not amazing, but what's so ironic about it being $97. The first course that I ever paid for YouTube that really, really helped me move the needle 4 years ago was $97. I'm not asking for a penny more. I'm not asking for a penny less. That was an investment where I was a bit nervous at the time, because at that time I was like, do I really want to pay for something that I'd never heard of the teacher? I didn't even hear the teacher. Somebody suggested it to me, and I was like, I don't know. But I did it, and it changed everything for me. And a lot of what I am teaching is obviously pulling from the same knowledge that I pulled from there. But it is a collection of a lot of things that I've been able to learn over the time. So that being said, let's talk about some of the things that are included in the course. First and foremost, you have, just if anybody's ever done any of my courses, I always start off with the course overview that really goes over mindset and frequently asked questions, things you can expect from the actual course itself. So we go over that first. Lesson 2, YouTube channel checklist. Now, there are things that in my personal upload, or my personal channel, I shouldn't say upload, my personal channel, that I make sure you have to put them together. Like if one of you guys hired me to optimize your YouTube channel, there's a checklist that I would go through to make sure you got to have the bare essentials taken care of. What's the use of building up a large YouTube following for YouTube that has a faulty foundation? People don't know when you're uploading. The channel looks disorganized. It's a headache to go find videos that you like from this person. Why not set a solid foundation first? Third, video equipment and setup. When I first started, I had an iPhone 6 and I had a Rode microphone that attached to the headphone jack, because remember those iPhones didn't have they still had the headphone jack. And so I talk about that equipment plus the equipment that I'm using now. And with how smartphones are and the quality of the cameras, you don't necessarily need to go buy an expensive DSLR if you know your audience and you know how to talk to them. A lot of my videos that have the biggest views, like the video I have right here, how to count and write 16 bars in rap, that is the worst quality that I've ever shot a video on YouTube. The lighting's bad. But what it did provide was there was a void in the market for how-to videos on how to count 16 bars specifically for rap. A lot of people doing it for music songwriting, but nothing specifically for rap. So I found a void and I filled it. The next one, lesson 4, which is an hour-long lesson, YouTube SEO 101. That is the meat and potatoes of this. I literally take the information out of my brain and I dump it out on this section right here. This is the section that by the time you come out of that, you are going to be filled with so much excitement and direction in terms of where to put and how to really find the keywords that work for you, and the tools that I use along the way to make that happen. Lesson 5, how to properly upload your videos. Sounds like a dumb lesson. The truth of the matter is a lot of people drop the ball here because they don't understand the way YouTube works. They don't understand that one video upload can directly inflict damage or can inflict benefit to your next upload video. We go over that there. Lesson 6. This is something that I haven't even seen in any of the YouTube courses that I've took over the years. How to create attention-grabbing thumbnails. This is where I literally walk you through step-by-step how I create my YouTube thumbnails. How to create different styles of thumbnails. And so we go in this Photoshop tutorial and I show you how I do that. Lesson 7, understanding your YouTube analytics, at least the ones that I pay attention to that help me know what's working and what's not working. There's metrics like retention to see if your audience is actually tuning in to more than 30 or 40% of your actual videos. Even stats that YouTube provides, which I know it's really overwhelming if you don't understand the stats, like the click-through rate for your thumbnails. They tell you how well your thumbnails are performing based upon somebody seeing it when they search out how to count 16 bars. If your thumbnail is performing for you, because that's the first thing people can see beyond your title, that helps you understand how well your video is grabbing people in and making them want to actually watch it. Lesson 8 is my particular YouTube strategy. It's zooming out on all the information that you learn and seeing how to put it into action ASAP after you've done that. After that, you get 10 additional bonus videos that really I had an opportunity to sit with my community and answer their specific questions that a lot of you have, I'm sure, about YouTube and growing your YouTube, all from many different YouTubers. And then also I show you how I create my YouTube videos that you guys always watch on this channel, as well as how I edit it on Vegas Pro. It's everything. It's literally everything. And a beautiful thing about creating a course like this is I can continue to add more chapters. As you guys start to ask more specific questions, I can add more chapters. So that is where I'm at with it. Let me go ahead and try to catch up with some of the stuff that you got in there. BusyWorks, I always appreciate you, bro. Always appreciate you, man. For those that know me, you know how important this one is to me, because I dumped out the FL Studio course after I had to redo that. I dumped out all the information that I knew at that point in time, the best that I could, without making it overwhelming. This one, I didn't hold back any punches. I let it all go. And yeah, that was this is very this is really like, what's the word I'm looking for? It feels good to get it out there. It feels good to get it out there. Now, I see a question that's been coming on a consistent. Let me answer this in order, actually. Will to Grind says, is 100 views on 2 beats for just starting my channel 5 days ago? Is that good, I guess you're asking? Would love feedback from every one of my beats. I think that in the beginning, it's more important not to do view chasing. Don't view chase. Don't view chase. You want to, at that point in the very beginning, use your views as as just another metric. Because at the end of the day, if you do not show up consistently, it doesn't matter if you get a video with 5,000 views or 500 views. Or 50 views. YouTube is going to stop suggesting you to your very subscribers that subscribe to your channel. Most times, it's not that different from buying decisions. It takes people 5 and 6 videos before they finally decide to subscribe to your channel, right? So I would more so worry about getting a solid foundation and understanding the things that are working for you in terms of ranking, right? There's a reason why right now, I'm gonna actually break this down for you. So let me see what the screen looks like. So, okay, so I'm still there. There's a reason why right now, check this out. When you type in 16 bars, I'm the 3rd video that pops up. How about this? Why my friends don't support me. Boom, here we go right there. There's a science behind that. There's a science behind why this stuff happens. So how about this? FL Studio 20. Boom. Here goes the last video that I did recently. And we should see, there goes another one. There's a whole playlist dedicated to that. So it's important for you to establish a system so that when people are searching for things here, you know how to prepare your videos to be in front of them. A part of that is having a solid foundation, right? It's crazy because if you think about this one, let's do another one. So we're going to take, sorry, my computer's going slow. Beat Visualizer. Okay. I got the first 2. Oh my God. I got a few videos up here. So if we think about this video right here, which is only a year ago, has 500,000 views. Let's do Beat Visualizer and then FL, let's say Guru, because I think that's their actual channel, right? They did this video 3 years ago. It has 500,000 views. I literally studied from this, found a way to customize it for myself, and then I did 492,000 views in 1 year. It's all about having a system and figuring out how to show up in front of people who are typing in very specific things. So, Bufo on the beat said, not gonna lie, Curtis, trying to YouTube right now feels like trying to climb Mount Everest. I understand. That's how I felt my first 200 videos. It took me 200 videos to realize how wrong I had it. But when you have a system, I tell you what helps with motivation, progress. If you're feeling like you're not motivated, sometimes you just got to like put one foot in front of the other. You got to do something that helps to kind of oil the engine. And this is my thing. YouTube is not for everybody. You don't have to be on YouTube if you don't want to. So if you are sitting in a situation in which you're feeling overwhelmed, try one thing. Then one thing at a time will lead to another. I see H2O said, if you want to promote your beats, get a professional team. That sounds so great in theory. And I like when people type things like this because they're so much easier to type than for people to actually execute when they don't even have the income to do it for themselves. The first question you just got, H2O, is, but where do you find the team? So I say give people an opportunity to establish a system, because here's my thing. What I would hate anybody to do is to get a lot of money and then dump that money into a team and you have no idea what your business is all about. Because somebody else could sell you on a dream and say, oh, no, just keep funneling money into these ads and things are going to work. But if you don't have an understanding about ads, it's almost like paying a graphic designer to do some artwork for you and you have no idea about what quality artwork looks like. You got to understand it to a certain degree. You don't have to be a micromanager and try to control everything, but I think there's a lot of benefit in establishing the foundation first yourself. And so this is what this course is designed to do. But for those of you that want to jump out the gate and get a team, I do not say go against it, but I say you want to understand your field. You want to understand what you're into. And then as you start to scale your business, a team makes more sense because now you have jobs to assess this team. But if you don't even know the different components that make up your business, what good is a team? So definitely understand what you got going on first. Operculum Audio, I believe that's how you say it. Thank you. I appreciate that. You dropped $10 in there. I appreciate that. So questions. Anybody else have any questions about YouTube? Obviously, there's a lot more questions that get answered in the actual course. But I just wanted to make sure that I had this conversation, expose it to you guys. Last thing I wanted to do, and this shows you how much respect that I have for you guys. I'm not about to sit up here and just drop you a commercial tomorrow and be like, yeah, go buy my course. They'd be like, fool, didn't you just say you leaving YouTube? Yes, I did talk about leaving YouTube. I was angry. I was emotional. I was ready to bounce. I was like, I got to own my own, and I now own my own. It's a lot of work. And so out of respect for the people that are there, that are still here, that want to find success, I'm telling you, there's so many underdogs right now in my audience. No disrespect to those of you that are already finding success, but there's so many underdogs that if you had a system that you were exposed to, and like I said, it doesn't have to be mine, but if you trust the information that I've given you, if you've taken one of my courses, you know what I'm doing, right? You know what this whole get down is about. So there it is. Command Ross says, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, so I'm going to say thanks for the gym over the years. No problem. I guess that means a goodbye. That's fine. I think it is. I'm going to just assume it does. But all love. Do you sell more beats with your personal brand or just product to consumer? Product to consumer for sure. There are things that I do that I have sales people who are marketing gurus, geniuses that want me to utilize my audience more to monetize. And not that that's a bad thing to do, because it's an exchange, right? You give information, you give value. People see value in that. Part of how they show their appreciation for that value or their need for your value is through monetary means. That has not been my goal, because you guys know 1,500 videos ago, I could have been selling you guys on things. My thing is this. I would much rather know that something is working regardless if you know my name or who I've worked with. If it works there, it has more longevity. If I'm relying upon my personal brand, one day it's not going to be what it is today, right? One day there's going to be a time where I spend less and less time on social media, and then the DNA of my business changes. And when the DNA of that changes and people who need to be in the front, right, my business is going to be one that is not so much me having to be the face and always be in front of the camera for it. This marketing has to work. It has to work for somebody who doesn't know who the hell I am. So I like to make sure that the products that I have and the way that I present them is a easy sell for somebody who doesn't even know who the hell I am. A lot of my beat selling has been like that as well. LDEPOV says, I'm a filmmaker who plans to make beats and shoot shorts. I'm trying to blend the two niche. What advice may you have? I think you have the answer right there. You got to find, first of all, I think in that situation, music becomes, how can I put this? You got to figure out music's place in this combination. You make beats, which you could obviously make a video. I mean, off the top, you could make a video where you are using your cinematic skills to show yourself making a beat, using B-roll footage that you shot outside of your studio and mixing it together. That's an easy video to continue to do it. It would be a different beat, behind the beat video than anybody else is doing. Another thing to do is to let your music be in the back seat, and basically treat your music almost as like royalty-free music, and allow it to be an accompaniment to your cinematic masterpieces. Because there's a chance that you would maybe get a larger audience based upon your camera advice, your filmography or your filmmaker advice, and that could segue to somebody needing your music services as well. So a lot of you are having YouTube channels and you got these skills that people have no idea about. And if you were to start a YouTube channel, instead of trying to make it as a YouTube producer, as a YouTube filmmaker, you probably could find a lot more success with this system if you use what people already deem as valuable out the gate, right? Music is so much easier to come about. But specific styles with filming styles, people are regular Joes who are not even into music are likely to come across that and see some benefit. The 50-year-old dad who just bought his first DSLR finds benefit in that. May not find benefit in your beats or your beat making videos. So that's just another way to kind of use it. I would just figure out how to bring that together, or see what your audience deems as more valuable from the jump. To me, that's something that's a no-brainer. There was another question I wanted to address. What about creating YouTube content for your target audience as an artist? Your top videos are more targeted towards musicians, which is your audience. Exactly. So I think you have to tap into, this is a great question. Somebody asked this the other night when I was in my private community. What about for artists that are creating video content and trying to find your audience? This is an opportunity for you to start to get into more of the culture of what you do. Now, if you're an artist that is trying to find listeners, I've been suggesting this for the longest, and a lot of people kind of slept on it. Creating album reviews for artists that are similar to you will attract people who listen to those artists. Because when you fall in love with an album, I don't know the last time you guys fell in love with a song or an album, you want to hear what all the tastemakers have to, most people want to hear what the tastemakers have to say about it. Because they either want to go hard for their artist and defend it, or they just want to see if somebody hears the same thing that they heard. Or like even like what's the guy's name? Anthony Fantano. I listen to him sometimes to hear the things that I didn't hear. He'll bring perspective, and I'll watch those reviews. I'm more likely to listen to his music because he seems like he knows what the hell he's talking about. That is one way to segue it. That's the way that I found it, is that I realized instead of trying to use this platform to promote my music, I could first teach the music makers the things that I have learned that nobody else wanted to teach me. And the likelihood that they would ask the question, well, you got all this information, what does your music sound like? That was going to happen was very high. And what happened? People started asking questions. Where can I hear your music? You got all this information. How do I know your music is? How can I qualify the teacher that is here? That's what naturally happened. So in your situation, you may get into a place where you figure out your demographic is, say your demographic is single moms, okay, that love your particular style of music. Maybe you tap into that sub demographic so much. Maybe you have like, This sounds so crazy, but I'm telling you, this is the future of how YouTube content is being made. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to use that example because I think somebody's going to actually do that. I got a buddy of mine. His name is Belief. He's a Christian hip hop artist, rapper, super talented songwriter. He found that, I'm just assuming, he found that his demographic was a lot of parents. I'm pretty sure he saw that at the shows. There's a lot of parents. He has kids. He has these two kids. He called them the chocolate babies. He got two kids, and he got a daughter, and he got a beautiful family. And he has this YouTube channel called Belief in Fatherhood, in which he really uses his content to debunk all the stereotypes of black fathers and things that the media has put out there and portrayed. He gets to set his own standard. And with this channel, man, he blew this channel up, and he got so many folks to be in tune with his parenting videos, his vlog videos, his pranks that he did, with his kids involved. I was at the gym and I was on a treadmill and I looked on the TV. My man's was in a Spectrum commercial with his kids. You never know where success is going to come from. Sometimes we get so obsessed with it has to be this way through music, but music can literally be, the assistant to where you're really going to get your foot in the door to really move the needle. This man grew his channel, still growing his channel, and that got people in tune with him. You go check it out, Belief in Fatherhood. There's so many people engaged with this social media, with this YouTube video, because he showed them a part that they could all relate to. And guess what? His music, being a Christian rapper, Christian hip hop artist, a lot of them also related to the fact that it was Christian-based content, and he tapped into that. So for those of you that are out there that are like, oh man, I want to be in front of the camera. I get you. But there's also videos that you can do as well. For those of you that have, how many of you have gone out there and say you look for some advice, some general advice, like, maybe you look up like, what is this? What can I think of? Let's think of a dumb video, how to crack an egg. Okay, you type in how to crack an egg. You ever see one of those videos where it's like an automated voice and they're like, this video will explain to you how to crack an egg. Step 1. And then it goes through all the steps and it's just nothing but photos. Those channels generate a lot of income because they serve a purpose. They fill a void, right? They give it straight through information, and they do that. You just got to find what that is going to be for you. I've been telling people for a long time, you could make a channel right now that gives jacked up tutorials about making beats on purpose, and you just troll the hell out of your audience. You will move around like fire. It's going to take some consistency and understanding a system, but you could do that now. You could be the channel that literally makes tutorials the wrong way and just continue to troll the audiences. And eventually it'll turn into some comedy. And then folks can turn that around and flip it into its own content, right? People now start to share that amongst their IG. They share that amongst Twitter. Do you see this idiot over here making this crazy content? And it's crazy because as goofy as that sounds right now, somebody's going to do that, and they're literally going to be that quote unquote YouTuber who does those tutorials the wrong way. They become a spoof for the people who do the tutorials the right way, right? So these are things that are going to happen along the way, is that people are going to become more and more creative about it as they go. Be the daylight of producer game. Yeah, that's basically what it is. My man's is known for the trolling. Will to grind. When we going to work on that word party beat? I'm not working on any beats right now. I am taking a break from music in general. I'm taking a long extended break and recharging. I put in it's been a lot of life changes this year. And so taking time off gave me the opportunity to create this course and really to sit with my own thoughts. I don't know the last time you guys have been able to sit in silence with your thoughts. For some people, it's a terrifying thought. I have so much clarity now, and so much understanding of just human beings in general. How well do you understand YouTube algorithms? Best advice on strategy using the engine wisely. See, this is one of them questions where it's like asking like 50 questions at the same time. How well do you understand YouTube algorithms? Very well. Best advice on strategy using the engine wisely. What? Using the search engine? These are things that we go over in the course. One of which being reverse engineering what people are actually searching for. Instead of trying to make a broad video about FL Studio, see what is being underserved, right? See how to be more specific within your tags. See how watch someone else's channel and understand the elements of it that create success. Also, having a better understanding of the relationship between Google and YouTube, and why understanding that the same rules that apply to blog posts apply to your YouTube descriptions. A blog lasts for a year. Within the internet sphere, the lifespan of a blog post lasts for a year. The lifespan of a Twitter post, the last time I checked, was about 3 hours. The lifespan of a Facebook post, I know this has changed for sure, but the last time I checked was 6 hours. Blog post is a year. Same thing with a video. There's a reason why if I type in how to hammer a nail, let's type that in right now, actually, just for the hell of it. How to hammer a nail. This video from 8 years ago is the first one that pops up. And if I'm looking here right now, what video am I likely to click on? Either the first one or the one that pops out in terms of timing, or pops out in terms of the thumbnail. These are things that we all talk about, or that I talk about within that course of how to engineer to your advantage. So there it is. Any questions? Any other questions to say? These have all been great questions thus far, and I appreciate you guys checking things out. But like I said, go to growtubeking.com if you want to get more information. You'll be seeing videos that pop up. Obviously, there'll be people who are going to jump up and be like, oh, man, I thought you were leaving YouTube. How you going to be just teaching YouTube? Because I know it. And I'd much rather put this in the hands of folks that I know are going to put it to use and do what they got to do. Thanks for your input. I also remember you making a video on 3 freedoms, which I definitely resonated with: creative freedom, financial freedom, and what's the other one? I got to refresh my memory on that one. But one thing that I did have an epiphany on with freedom came from a book, from what's the guy's name? Is it Mark Manson? It's a book about hope. And one thing he said was, freedom is not about having options. People confuse freedom with variety. People think that, oh, I have the freedom to get this sweater in red, black, blue. No, that's not freedom. That's variety. Freedom is what you have the ability to say no to. Think about it. What you have the ability to say no to and actually walk away and not have any repercussions, that's what true freedom is. It's a lot more of, I shouldn't say restricting, but disciplining yourself on things that really gives you the freedom. How many of you have been looking for a breakthrough in your career, and it was the most simplest thing that helped bring that breakthrough forward? Think about it. It was something really, really simple that maybe you overlooked, and you were like, oh my God, why didn't I think of this before? Or that advice that you got from somebody that changed everything for you. P. Young. So a lot of these questions are not really about YouTube, but I guess we can just jump into them. No problem. P. Young said, I notice a lot of producers giving up on being a successful producer because they are not selling lately. I thought it was about the creation of music. It is, P. Youngs, but you know what I think happens? This is, I shouldn't say it's social media's fault, but it's social media is partly to credit for this, in that we're living in an era where people are convinced that other people's highlights are their daily lives, and it's not the truth, right? We see somebody's Instagram feed and we believe that that whole thing is their day-to-day life. And a lot of that stuff is just highlights of their life. And so it's important that we realize that, and we're able to look at that and say, you know, Somebody else's blessing is not my, if somebody else gets blessed, it's not that I'm not getting blessed or that I'm missing out on something. And I think that we get so caught up in trying to have peak performance, which is something that I'm speaking from experience. I myself have got to that place. Let me actually get off of this. I want to really talk to you guys. I think this is a good place to kind of bring things to a close. But a place that I got that really jacked me up was getting into a place where, and I think it's no different from, producers are not any different from artists, from just business individuals, entrepreneurs in general. This generation is so obsessed with peak performance, giving your best, having all these strategies, having all these secrets. What about peak enjoyment? Do you actually like making music? Do you actually like making beats? Sounds like a dumb question at first, and I guess it is a dumb question if you've already decided in your mind that it's what I love to do. But for some of us, we have been playing a role in convincing ourselves that this is our passion and we love to do it, but yet in this role, we continue to take shortcuts, right? We don't give it the dedication that something we really, really want to get done, something we're really, really passionate about or that we really enjoy doing. We don't give it the same attention and energy. And I don't think it's because you hate music. I don't think it's because you're not meant to do it. I just think that you're not enjoying it. And part of why you're not enjoying it has to do with what things are circulating around the music. How many people in here, if you did not have to have a social media to have a successful music career, would never have a social media? Leave it in the chat. If you never had to have a social media and you could have a successful music career without it, how many of you would do that? I'm very curious to see what the answer is on this one, because I'll answer it for myself. If this was not somewhat of a necessity to reach people, if I could have success and still take care of my responsibilities, I would love to just have that and then nothing else, right? And not have to worry about a following, not have to worry about what is the algorithm doing? Not having to worry about creating a system for, YouTube. But the truth of the matter is this: it is a balance. And the problem that we have a lot of the times, or I can speak for myself that I have, is when there is an imbalance. And the imbalance comes when we spend way more time on social media, because a part of us probably enjoys social media more at that given state, because it's giving us more of the dopamine of success than actually working on music. But if you love the music and you enjoy the process, a lot of that frustration that you feel would be replaced with an excitement for, I got to get past this challenge, right? Think about how many of you play video games, right? And I'm not too, please excuse my lack of knowledge about like the newest video games. I don't play a bunch of video games, but video games are, especially like role-playing video games, they're based upon getting from level to level and increasing your skill set and figuring out how to get past this level. We've all got to a level playing a game. I know when I was playing Mario, there was levels that I was like, damn, I can't get past this one part. Oh my God, this is so frustrating. Or even like Tomb Raider or whatever, showing my age with that. But how many of us get there and we get frustrated? We may get frustrated, but we don't quit. Our immediate thing is not to jump off of it and jump on, YouTube or jump in some gamer's DM and say, man, how did you pass this level? Keep playing. Because a part of us really enjoys playing the game. We enjoy the challenge of it. It's frustrating as hell, but we enjoy it. That's part of the journey. And so I think with music, I get a lot of questions from producers, and it's like, I don't even want to answer some of the questions because I'm going to take away your enjoyment. If I answer it for you, you ever had something that you were like trying to figure out and then you figured it out and you were like, oh, I just figured that out. And you had nobody to tell, but you just felt so excited by it? That's part of the enjoyment of making music. I don't want to take that away from anybody. But what I would like to do is do things like I always do with my courses, which is provide you systems that give you more time to what you love to do. If you guys could sit here and create video content that generates income on a monthly basis for you, And all you had to do was prepare 3 videos a week, say for instance. Put those 3 videos, have archive videos of like 19 videos and just put them up there and focus more on your work. Forget about IG, forget about Twitter, forget about any other social media except for YouTube. And you were able to create a system that allowed you to do that. I know a lot of you would be significantly more happy with your music because you wouldn't be worried about, oh my God, I got to get, man, my drums are not mixed right. My mixing is trash. My this and that or this and that. All these things that we're trying. This stuff stays in your head, fam. It don't go nowhere. And I know the majority of us are not meditating. I'm just making an assumption. The majority of us are not meditating, and we're constantly bombarded by pings and all of these damn messages that are popping up left and right, trying to get our attention from email. I had to turn my email off. I turn my IG. I turn off all my notifications. I check it when I want to check it. And I have been enjoying making music. Sometimes I'll be honest with you guys. I don't even want to make music, make behind the beat videos to put up on YouTube. Sometimes I want to just make music because when I first started making music and making beats, wasn't nobody else in the room. Wasn't no pressure to do nothing except for just make my beats. But I do enjoy being able to share my process and possibly inspire somebody else out there, so I continue to do it. But you guys see, I take my breaks because I need to make sure I'm enjoying this. The times that I'm not enjoying this, that's when the scientist starts to kick in and the artist is not having fun anymore. So, I think Jules, I fell back from everything. I feel you. Sometimes you got to do it. And if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you because everybody else that you know is on social media. And so you got to give yourself time to really sit back. See what happened with me? When I had time to sit back, I'm a lot less irritable. When I get on here, and I know people get on here and troll and all of that, that's cool. I'm here for the people in here that I know are dedicated to growing. And if YouTube is the place that you want to grow, is a system. The system is the GrowTube course. That is the system, hands down. That is the system, top to bottom. There is very little that I can teach you outside of that course about what I know about YouTube. But based upon using this, you won't need to invest into other courses. But say you're looking for something specific that the course doesn't cover, you would have already been put with so much foundation. The skill sets you learn in this course, you'll be able to now optimize other people's YouTube as a source of income. So for those of you that are not able to sell beats right now, you're not able to sell songs right now, it's only a matter of time, right? It's going to take some time and some investment. You're going to have to generate income from other places, maybe your job, maybe your side hustles. Well, one side hustle you could do based upon the information you learn is optimizing other people's YouTube channels. That is a business right now that if I wanted to do, I can make a lot of money doing. But it's not about the money for me. It's about enjoyment. I don't necessarily enjoy going to YouTube channels and bootstrapping all these YouTube channels. I know how to do it. It's fun. I'm amazing at it. I know I grew my channel. Very niche demographic. But I would much rather put this information in the hands of folks that I know some of you are hungry. You are hungry. A lot of you are hungry to really level it. And even this, how about this? This is a course that I created because I saw so many of my Instagram like influencer homies that already have large audiences. They get on YouTube and they drop the ball. They're literally getting all their views based upon their name. But guess what? One day, their name's not going to be here. One day it's going to go here. One day it's going to slowly start to. So if you don't understand the way YouTube works, if you don't have a system that ensures that your content is evergreen being that it's content that is going to live on forever, right? So if I make a video like I did 3, 4, 5 years ago, how to count 16 bars in hip hop. That's a video that's going to live for as many times as people are going to need to learn how to count 16 bars in rap. So that's the kind of stuff that I try to make sure that my influencer friends understand. But you'd be surprised how many of them don't understand. They have huge followings and don't know what to do with it, right? Their ad revenue is sitting like $30-$40. It spikes. Because here's the thing about it that people don't understand about YouTube. There are channels that you guys probably overlook because they don't get, millions of views or 100,000 views, or, maybe you do have some channels that you do watch that are smaller channels. A lot of these smaller channels, whatever you want to call a smaller channel, that's why I don't like calling channels small, are generating more ad revenue because of their audience. I'm gonna give you an example. And I learned this specifically from going to the YouTube studios. First time I ever visited there, I talked to some of the specialists there and they dropped gems on me. This is the kind of stuff I try to share with you within the course. I do share with you in the course. They were saying that, here's the thing about it. Let's just break YouTube down for a second. Ads typically show up every 5 minutes on YouTube, right? So depending on whose videos you watch, and everybody has, some people do like the non-skippable ads and things change. Ads pop up every 5 minutes. So for those people who are trying to like waste your time and milk videos, they just be blabbing. I've done it before. I can't even lie. I'll blabbing, get past 10 minutes. 2 ads go up with 10 minutes. With these 2 ads, based upon your demographic, there's a chance that you, say we got a 14-year-old who gets 15 million views. Right? 15 million views, and that video spikes off and they're getting a bunch of views, but their demographic is not an audience that actually buys anything, or they're not old enough to buy. Say they're watching the video, they're commenting, but they're not purchasing anything. That puts them at a disadvantage to a channel that, say, only has like 50,000 views. Like, give you an example. Pensado's Place. I think that's the name of his channel. Pensado, the mixing engineer. He had a smaller channel at one time. They said, do you know that his channel is more beneficial to YouTube than the kid who's getting 4 or 5 million views? Because what kind of ads can pop up for a kid that's like, hi, I'm going to do a Justin Bieber cover? Justin Bieber songs maybe, or, I don't know what pops up in ads. But think about Pensado. He's showing people how to use equipment that is on average like $500 to $1,000 to even like tens of thousands of dollars, talking about mixing engineering stuff, right? And so as he's talking about it, there's ads that are popping up. And when these ads pop up, they are actually more beneficial to his audience that is ready to purchase, because these are engineers. These are people who are already people who understand, oh, okay, I already have this equipment, but this is going to be a great upgrade. So then when an ad pops up, it's relevant and it's going to be more beneficial to YouTube and to the advertiser, because it's going to be more dollars per click based upon those people actually purchasing higher ticket products. So you could very well have a smaller YouTube channel as a producer, and all you do is review speaker monitors, right? Or all you do is review microphones. You'd be surprised how many emails I get on a regular basis. And we're not even talking about external money, just how many emails I get from people who are like, yo, we want to send you a free microphone. We're based in China. We want to send you a free microphone and just do a video about it, 3-minute video, and we'll drop you this money, or we'll give you the microphone for free. Most of that stuff I don't do anymore, because I don't want to feel like I'm always I don't want to be in a situation where it feels like you guys think I'm just going to the highest bidder. Anybody that I promote on this channel, I 1000% use for myself, their product, or I believe in. I'm never going to come on here like, hey, would you guys like to see a new app that's killing it in the streets, right? That sounds stupid. Y'all going to look at me and be like, Curtis, now we know you over here trying to get off on somebody for some affiliate money. So what I want to do is put you in a situation in which when you get those offers, your channel was already set up to get you that free stuff. And there's a lot of stuff I don't have to even purchase. Like a lot of the VSTs and all these companies that hit me up wanting me to use their VSTs, they don't understand that Beats is the least thing that I do now. Right? When I first started this, Beats were all I made. I hardly make any beats anymore. And they still hit me up like, yo, we got this new plugin. And I'm like, that's what's up. You should go hit somebody else that's going to use that and do a video about it, because I'm not about to do a video this week. I'm focusing on mental health. I'm focusing on building myself up as an individual and recharging myself, because I've given a lot of myself to the internet, to all different, aspects of the things that I do. So, Don Duchess says you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers to get monetized, I believe. Yeah, I think it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. It feels so overwhelming and daunting in the beginning when you don't know exactly what that means, right? And there's so many things that you can do that help you basically make this an automated system. And there's things that you should do. YouTube should not be paying every YouTube channel cents on the dollar. They shouldn't be paying every YouTube channel, every YouTuber, because every YouTuber is not utilizing it the way that it should be utilized, and they shouldn't be getting money off it. You should have to prove that you are consistent. How about this? Switch the roles. What if you had a website and it was called ZTube? You made ZTube and you had this money. You're making money, right? And then say a gajillion people upload on your platform. That's amazing for you, right? Free advertisement. But some of the people are abusing the content and they're not following the rules. That's the first red flag. You don't want to give them money because they're costing you money for your advertisers that are like, yo, that one channel was talking about softcore porn and we over here trying to sell gummy bears to kids. This is not going to work. So then they try to take care of what they take care of. You would want to do things in a different way if this was your company. I didn't think of it from that perspective, and that's why I have a new mindset about YouTube. Because now when I have my own platform with Curtis King TV, those in here that are members, you know some things happen the first month that I will not repeat in a public place that have changed me forever. Things that I cannot unsee that happen. It is a lot of responsibility to do this on your own. Is it 10,000 hours now? Okay, 10,000 hours. My thing is this. Once you understand what it takes for watch time, here's a funny thing about watch time. I'm going to give you guys this one gem because there's a gang of gems within this. Watch time, people don't understand. If you go to, okay, how about this? If you say you put up a YouTube video right now, and say the YouTube video is 5 YouTubers that I watch. Say it's a 6-minute video. Say it's a 10-minute video, okay? If that person that's watching that video now goes from that video to somebody else's YouTube channel and watches another YouTube, that's still part of your watch time. It's a part of the same session. Now, the problem is that a lot of folks who are on YouTube, like producers, what they do is the first link that's in your description on YouTube, this is something you could change today. The first link in your description is a link to your beat store. That's a no-no. Because what happens is somebody listens to your beat for 3 minutes. Then they click on the link, maybe even 1 minute. They click on the link. That's the end of their YouTube watch time. That session is over. If they click out of the window, session over. Right? Because now you're not making YouTube money at that point in time. You are costing them money. Right? Or you're using that platform to now make you money, which is what you're supposed to do. That's the bigger picture. But if you want to get your watch time up and become a quote unquote partner, you got to play the game. Part of playing the game is sometimes what I'll do in my videos is first of all, my description, before you see a link, this video is probably the exception because I'm not really worried about this getting a bunch of views. The first links that you generally see in my descriptions are YouTube videos for other videos that I've created. So I say, if you like this video, go watch another one of my videos that is about behind the beats, and you'll watch that video. That video will now take you down a rabbit hole that'll lead you to a BusyWorks video. That BusyWorks video will lead you to a Lifestyle Did It video. That Lifestyle video will lead you to a Simon Servita. And so we are all a chain of watch time that has been created because that viewer watched that one video and didn't leave YouTube. That's how easy it is to get watch time. But a lot of people are so stingy about their business or so indecisive about where they want to send people that they don't play the YouTube game in order to get their watch time up. Right now, let me see what my watch time is. And mind you, I have not been on YouTube. I probably posted maybe 2 videos, three or four, maybe 3-4 videos the last month. My watch time in the last 28 days is 18,000 hours. Almost, I guess it's almost 18,000 hours. 307,000 views. Why? Because I have content that is designated as evergreen content that is going to live forever. People are forever looking for it. How to count 16 bars, how to write hooks for songs. These are things that people are always searching for. You make the video one time, and then you can decide to make it again. So I have a how to sell your beats in 2019. That's a huge video for me this year. I can make a how to sell your beats in 2020 and talk about ClickFunnels, or you can make it. I'm not worried about that. You make it. At the end of the day, if somebody watches your video and then watches my video, we both get a little bit of watch time in that. You get more watch time because you let them down that funnel. So that's what it's all about. So when you guys think about watch time, it's not like you have to create that all yourself. You literally could put end videos. You know those videos at the end where you have the end videos? You could put end videos there that lead them to other YouTubers. So if I got a 10-minute video and then I say, hey, if you like this video, go watch this BusyWorks video and it's 30 minutes, I got 40 minutes of watch time because I suggested another YouTuber. But that's what makes you a partner, because you're actually playing the game. So these are the things that I share within the course, things that I'm telling you, I literally took information out of brain into course. So, you guys, it is at growtubeking.com. I'm very proud of this course. It is the most detailed course that I have ever put together. I put a lot into it. And so I'm excited to get you guys out there and to be more knowledgeable about how to operate your YouTube with an actual system. And I don't want you guys don't even have to do this and turn around and be like, you guys, man, you guys got to go to this course. I want you to do it for yourself and find success first. And then have people ask you, hey, I see you got a difference in your YouTube channel. What did you do? Then you could tell them. Pudge Beats said an affiliate program. Not yet. I don't want to do an affiliate program. Right now, what I want to do is make sure that those who need the information get into it. Oh, Southside Black Production. Bless you. Thank you so much. So I just invested into your course. Excited to see what gems I can get out of it. I'm telling you, be prepared. It's about 3 hours and 40 minutes total. So hopefully my voice is not a problem to you, because you're going to spend a lot of time with me learning a lot of valuable information. So this is bigger than just type beats. This is something where this course is the biggest course I've done, because it's more than just quote unquote rappers and producers. Y'all are who I know and who I've talked to for as many years as I've talked to. But there's so many people that come to me and like, folks that own small businesses and restaurants that want me to help their YouTube channel. It's like, I don't have the time. What if I gave you a course that allowed you to do that for yourself? So that's what I ended up doing. So that's what that is. There it is. Thank you. And thank you for anybody else that chose to go ahead and enroll in the course. But just want to give you guys a heads up. Tomorrow the video goes live. So, I wish you guys the best if you do decide to go ahead and jump into the course. Just know anything that I put attached to my name, I'll give 1,000%. Same way with the whole ClickFunnels videos, and shout out to my man Gabe and Anno. Once again, that's something else too that, unfortunately I'm starting to see, and I guess it's to be expected. A lot of folks are kind of like unsure about going that route. And, you should ask questions. You should do your homework. But at the same time, don't be afraid of being a business in addition to what you're doing. Right? Do not be afraid of being a business. Do not be afraid to sell, because we're all selling products. You should know how to sell. And realize that most customers that have a problem with price don't have a problem with price. They have a problem with cost. Right? So for instance, I'll give you an example. For instance, I got this from Zig Ziglar. Most customers are concerned that if I buy this, will it cost me later? For instance, if you choose to buy a $60 bike as opposed to a $120 bike, most people are gonna be like, I'll get that $60 bike if it has the same thing as the other one, right? Not realizing that over 6 months of repairs, it's probably going to cost more than that other bike that was a little bit more expensive, or double the amount of money. So people are more so concerned about cost. So my thing is, when you guys are selling with these funnels and you're becoming marketers, which I'm very proud to see, because I think that a lot of times, we all are producers by foundation and by nature first and foremost, right? We love to make music. We're music creators. We're creators. That's good. That is an art form. So is business. Business can be an art form. Selling is an art form if you choose to utilize it that way. And at the end of the day, if you are putting forth a quality product that you believe that can truly help artists out there, or if you're an artist helping other people, if you truly believe your music can help people and you know the ways that it helps people, and this is what you are selling, it is your moral obligation to be successful in what you are doing. So that's the mindset that I want you to go with. I'm proud of the producers that are jumping into the ClickFunnels and understanding that we're already late to this. This thing has been around since 2008. As an industry, we're late to a lot of these things, but I'm proud to see so many taking the chance on it, or at least seeing if it's for them. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But I love to see that people are becoming more market minded, because making the beats is you're going to always improve upon that, and that is the foundation beyond all of this. But if nobody ever hears it, or if you don't know how to utilize some kind of system to get the viewership or grow, how are you going to scale? How are you going to scale? So this is why I started a YouTube channel, was to help folks that weren't exposed to the kind of people, mentors, information that I was. I want you to be exposed to that stuff. So, yeah. A-Dog Beats. I have no idea where to start with marketing. The greatest advice I was ever given about marketing, let's simplify it. Marketing is, how do I reach the people that, how did he word it? He said, marketing is about, oh my God, I forget how he worded it. It was basically along the lines of marketing is basically trying to figure out how to make your message as clear as possible to the people that need it the most. That's it. So whatever you're doing, how do you make your message more clear is part of what the marketing is all about. Think about a commercial. A commercial makes you more, and that's advertisement, but think about a commercial. It makes the foundation of that as a marketing plan of, I want people to recognize that our shoe, like a Nike, our shoe is the leading shoe when it comes to athletic wear or peak performance. That's the marketing message. So now all these pieces of content that you're advertising with are all making that message more clear. So maybe you have a 1-minute video that, talks about or shows you in your element making a beat and making a certain style of beat, right? Maybe it's an R&B beat, and maybe you got candles in the studio, and maybe you're evoking a certain emotion. It is your job to figure out all the different physical things that you can do aesthetically to make your message more clear to the people that want to hear it the most. People get so weirded out by marketing in business and think that everything is a scam or a pyramid scheme. And I understand it, because there are a lot of scams and pyramid schemes out here and all that stuff. But just understand the terms that you are using before you bounce that up with business, because a lot of people are saying things that are limiting their own growth if they don't understand it. So don't be afraid of business. Don't be afraid of marketing. Don't be afraid to learn just one thing about marketing. If you don't know where to start with marketing, look up marketing. Look up all these terms that you keep hearing, right? Leads. Look up, opt-in pages, landing pages. Some of these things are pretty self-explanatory when you see them, but just look it up. Watch 5 videos on it, right? And see if people start repeating the same thing. That's what I do with my YouTube videos. I'll research 5 videos and see, okay, first of all, what is my opinion about this topic? Okay, now let's watch 5 other videos. Like when I made a video about what is a logo and what's the purpose of a logo. First, I made like my own list of what I think the purpose of a logo is based upon my memory and my own knowledge. Then I researched about 5 to 10 videos, and I pulled information from those, and I credited them, but I pulled information from those, and then I combined and brought it to an audience and made it concise. I made it more clear. So that's what that's all about. So if you have questions about marketing, just figure out, at the end of the day, replace the word brand with reputation and replace content with message. If you have an overall marketing message, all the content is easy, because now you're trying to figure out, all right, what's the next message I want to give to the audience? That's all marketing is. right? Now, that's a very oversimplified way because there's a lot of terms that go into it, but you don't need to know everything in the beginning. You just need to know something that's going to lead you to the next. At the very surface level, if you don't know anything, just look up marketing. And if you don't know what a ClickFunnels is yet, don't worry about that yet. Look up marketing first. Marketing is like mixing. Busy works. Man, I wish she was on here so we could talk about that. We gotta do another NPC soon, sir. If you're down, it's a lot of things we gotta kind of break down. But I love doing those conversations with you. Pudge B says something else that was taking a toll on you, Curtis King, was beat critiques. It all took a toll on me, to be honest with you. I gave so much. Something I realized, and I haven't said this publicly, is that I gave so much that I never took a second to realize that you're literally learning and giving it all away before you've even understood it for yourself. And that's all that I was doing. Now, that's part of how you retain information, but sometimes you need to let a seed sit inside of your head and grow a little bit before you even understand it. Right? How many times have you read a paragraph of like one of your favorite books and you were like, yo, that's a bar. And then 2 years later or a year later, you're like, I didn't even recognize how much of a bar that was. To me, that's what information is. And if you're always in a situation where you're giving, and you're never recharging, which is what I wasn't doing, or you're never taking time to just be private and with your own thoughts and yourself, how are you going to recharge? And so I got to a place where I did the YouTube for years without holding. I think I only missed 1 week my entire time doing YouTube, right? Like 1 or 2 weeks, I think, total before I took my first break. I went straight into the daily workshops in Curtis King TV. And, I did on average about 4 to 5 hours. Right now, because of those daily workshops, I have enough video workshops that we recorded to last a human being 13 full days. You could literally watch videos for 13 days in a row and do nothing else. Don't eat, don't leave, don't pause. And you would have enough content for 13 days of workshops, of working hands-on with rappers and music producers. And what you don't see is I'm not taking breaks after I get off the camera. I'm still a father, still a husband. I still got responsibilities as head of my household. And so I was not taking enough time to recharge and take my own advice. It's hard to learn when all you're doing is talking. And that was my problem. So that's where I'm coming from with that. But that's why now you see a recharged energy from me and a different perspective on things. Alex said, will you do beat critiques in the future? Again, for the members. I gotta really revisit that in another way. There's a lot of things that I'm figuring out that are not passions of mine. And even the way that I was doing mentoring is not a passion of mine. There are certain people that's what they love to do. And right now, what I am loving is being able to have time to myself, to understand myself, being able to do a course like this YouTube course and help people while I'm going to sleep. Right. But part of what you do, and this is why I say, if you value your solitude, if you value your moment to yourself, understand that being an influencer or getting into influencer marketing where you always got to be the face of the business, it is exhausting. And it will take a toll on you because there's always work to be done. There's always an email to open. There's always a DM to respond to. There's always, if I jump up in the morning, one thing I had to stop doing, I have to treat myself as if, what would I do if I was living 30 years in the past? I wouldn't have a cell phone that had immediate internet access that I could check, my emails and all that stuff. I would have to wait till I got to the desktop. And so that's what I have been doing, is trying to get myself to get the most out of my mornings. Part of that is taking walks and literally getting out there and not checking my phone for like the first 3 hours of my day. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. What do you enjoy more, rapping or making beats? I just enjoy I just enjoy. I think if anything, I enjoy the peace that I get from it. I enjoy when I don't have to put too many crazy expectations on it. I enjoy creating for the sake of creating, right? Not always to build an audience or to be strategic. Or I just like to do it for the love. And that's what YouTube was for me in the beginning. I just loved to make videos. And knowing that a few of you would watch it and leave comments, that was pretty cool. And along the way, I think I just, I went a little bit ham. I think alone, BusyWorks, I think I've given you like 500 videos, a lot of it which hasn't been uploaded. But I think I gave you 500 videos in addition to my 1,200 that are sitting on my channel. And so it just gets to a place where if you don't have a system for yourself to recharge from and to be a better person from, and to take care of yourself. Like one thing is, I'm looking at the time right now, I got to get to bed. I've been going to bed at 10 o'clock every night, and it's 9:57 right now. And so I'm getting ready to actually log off of here because that's it too. And we're going to talk about it in videos because sometimes, fam, I don't want to talk about rappers and music producer related content. Sometimes I don't want to talk about FL Studio. Sometimes I just want to just talk about like life shit. And I feel like sometimes with the channel, I've been so good at that or so aimed at that it doesn't really give me so much time to do that, but I'm going to do it anyways. And it's whatever. And because I have a system, it allows me to take that risk and not worry about what's going to happen to my ad revenue. I don't worry about that. If anything, it means that my social proof, my views and comments will go down. It's so much easier to shrug your shoulders when you enjoy what you're doing. And I just don't enjoy doing producer gossip. I don't enjoy talking about somebody who offended the producer community. I don't enjoy, doing all them videos I did about Genius. I don't enjoy doing none of that. I enjoy talking about things that actually have helped me and that could help somebody else out there. And so that's what I'm all about. That's what it's always been about, is helping. So that hasn't changed. But I'm using this time right now to really just recharge and get stronger. And I think I've been doing that. Been finding peace. I've been journaling. I've been writing my thoughts down. What gives you the most creative energy in your week? Walking. A month ago, I wouldn't have said that, but walking is giving me the most creative juice that I could ever have. And I don't want to talk about, I guess I could talk a little bit about this, but I don't want to talk about too much because I'm going to make a video about it. Something that I do in my walks now is I have a playlist that plays. There's nothing but instrumentals, and I walk straight distance. Some days I walk 4 miles. Some days I walk 2 miles. Some days I walk 1 mile. I let my brain pretty much determine that for me. I walk, and sometimes I even close my eyes. Not that I'm walking in the street. I close my eyes and make sure that I got a straight shoot, and I imagine that like little pieces of thoughts in my mind are being dumped out physically in the streets. Something about that visual clears my brain so much. Something that I do too is a different, like a diaphragm breathing. That's almost like filling up your stomach like a balloon and then exhaling, not too hard, but with the velocity as if you're trying to blow towards a candle, but not blow the candle out. So it's like all that stuff. We've heard it before. It sounds ridiculous, but it works. Works for me. And so that brings me an opportunity. I think that we sometimes get so caught up in make a beat. Use this topic, use this, you did it. Consume. And we don't realize, like, when you run around all day and your legs are tired, what do most of you do? You sit down because you're able to gauge your physical fatigue based upon how your body feels. What about mental fatigue? What does that look like and what does that feel like? Right? You may describe how you're feeling to somebody mentally to somebody else. They'll just be like, oh, you just need to go to sleep, bro. You're good, bro. You just had a hard day. What if you're literally mentally injured? How would you even know? And so instead of doing the sit still meditation that I know a lot of people suggest, my new meditation has been walking and journaling before every single day so that I win the day before the day tries to take over, because your day is going to try to take over. So I try to do my best to win the day in the beginning. So sometimes some people can do yoga and meditation. Sometimes you got to find out what kind of meditation works for you. Somebody put me on game about moving meditation, right? Meditation is only a practice, and it's a practice that you can define, right? But literally, when I'm telling you that I'm walking, I'm not on my phone. I don't worry about what anybody's saying in, the I don't even look at the comments. None of that stuff. I disconnect, and I let those thoughts in my brain just fly in the streets, and I walk a long distance. And by the time I feel like, you know what? Let's start the day now. Let's go. And that's it. So the Blade of K, you said, I'm wanting to join Curtis King TV. What will the content consist of? The content consists of my courses, all my courses that I have done, as well as archive videos of the workshops. We're no longer doing daily workshops. We're doing folks that are sharing good news and some progress that they have seen. But that's pretty much the gist of that. Outside of that, it's just really a place where I'm going to transition it from Curtis King TV eventually to Curtis King University, because it's literally a place in which it has all of my courses, my products, and all that good stuff. But as it stands right now, it's $19.95. That's definitely going up. But yeah, just realize that I am an entrepreneur that is growing right before your eyes, and it's fun. It's hard to take that time when you're trying to establish yourself as a new producer. Well, Young Cuddy, this is what I suggest to you, and I think this is a good place to end it. As important as you have made it for yourself to establish yourself as a new producer, if life overtakes you mentally and physically to the point where you can't get up out of bed, or to the point where your doctor tells you it is literally the worst thing for you to do to spend hours and hours sitting down, which, I mean, there's studies on that say that sitting down at sit-down jobs literally takes away 10 years off of your lifespan. And not to discourage anybody from sitting down and making beats, you just got to readjust to it. I got an app that reminds me to stand up. But realizing that just as important as it is for you to be establishing yourself as a new producer, your health has got to be just as important. Because if you don't take care of that, it's going to take care of you. And you won't even be around to be a new established producer. What good is that success if you don't enjoy it because it brings you pain, right? And I'm talking as somebody that's 34. Something I wish I would have paid more attention to in your 20s. You don't give a damn. I don't know if you're in your 20s, but in your 20s, you don't give a damn. You're just going. You're going. But eventually that going gets old, and your body makes you pay for it. Some of you got to pay a little bit earlier, but I would much rather you. My suggestion, as your friend, as somebody that gives information like this all the time, I would much rather you weigh your health just as high as the necessity that you've deemed it to establish yourself as a new producer. It's not only time. It's not only a matter of you making time to do it. It's a matter of your success means so much to you, you have to do it. Something that was hard for me to recognize is it's partly ego to throw all your energy, all your time, all of your lack of sleep, all that is partly ego, right? And it's partly insecurity too. But it's hard to recognize it because we're grinding, we're working, like we own it. Like, I'm not insecure. I love what I'm doing. I'm trying to make it out here. But that's partly due to ego and insecurity, because there's a part of us that says to ourselves, tomorrow is not worth it. Spreading this out is not worth it, right? I have to force my way through this. When we know that success is ultimately about showing up. What did Pharrell say a few days ago? Success is not our responsibility. Or I think it's he either used the word responsibility, but something along the lines of he makes the music, and success is what the people chose. right? The people decided to come together and support his work of art. And you may disagree. It's something I had to really give thought to, but I realized a lot of the work that I was putting in, that I was deeming like, oh, I'm just hustling, I'm going the Gary Vee way, I'm doing it. It's short-lived, right? Like one of my favorite CEOs in marketing and brilliant minds was Steve Jobs. And, you know, you look at how he died of a weak immune system. Stress weakens the immune system. Not getting sleep weakens the immune system. He's a legend. Yeah, that means something to us right now. And it probably meant something to him before he left, but I want you to be here. I want you to enjoy this at 60 and 70. I want you to enjoy this, young Cuddy Beats. I want you to not only establish yourself, but have the confidence that you're going to be established no matter what. It's going to happen. And I know that's hard in the beginning, but realize it's going to happen, and realize that meditation, finding some kind of finding hobbies outside of music. That's one thing I should suggest to all producers. Find a hobby outside of music. Find a hobby outside of music so that you won't go crazy, because this thing will drive you crazy. Find a hobby outside of music that challenges you physically, whether it's working out, whether it's, a sport that you suck at. Do something you suck at, right? And it's going to fill you up with so much life when you come to your creative world. But if you're only forcing down one path, a part of that is you saying, I don't think that I can make it unless I obsess over this. But what is making it if you get there and you realize it's not enough? What is making it if you get there and your health is shit? You feel me? Like, these are things I didn't care about when I was 28, unfortunately. And I had to pay for it at 33, 32, 31. But if your success is important to you, your rest should be important to you too. I feel for all of these entrepreneurs that were like, you need to sacrifice your sleep and da-da-da-da. Yeah, you do, but you're going to do that anyways when you're obsessed over a dream. You do that because it's a byproduct of you're so excited you can't go to sleep. But if you're out here sacrificing sleep because so-and-so told you that you only need to get 4 hours of sleep to get your dreams accomplished, that's bull. That's bull. That's bull. Because a lot of these folks don't have bags under their eyes. Wear them bags under your eyes. It ain't makeup. They're getting their rest. But they're selling you on something that in turn is selling their products as well. That's why I had to check myself about making videos that made you guys hate your jobs, or making videos that made you like I'm not saying you don't have to work hard. You got to work hard for sure. But you're going to want to work hard anyways. You're going to want to work so hard for what you love that you're going to have to scale it back at some point and say, look, there's no longevity in this. I'm going to kill myself if I go this way. And if I was working the way that I was working at 28, at 34, I would kill myself. Straight up. I was a nut. Red Bulls, Monsters, sugar, Taco Bell, whatever was open after, I would kill myself. So I would much rather you set yourself up for longevity and have the confidence, even if you don't have anything that points to this happening, that you're going to be successful. And that level of success is going to be predicated upon how much energy you actually have to begin with. Because I'm telling you right now, if you show up at 20% because you got lack of sleep, but you've been grinding, you've been grinding, but you at 20%, that person that's well rested, that sat with a plan, that put that plan into action is gonna whoop your ass. How do I know? Because I had my ass whooped by the people that got some rest, by the people that found hobbies that recharged their spirit and their body. And then by the time they came back to the music, it was like water for them, right? They didn't obsess over failing. They didn't obsess over every single detail. Why? Because they had a life outside of music. So that's the best advice I got for you, man. I want you to establish yourself, but I want you to have the confidence, even if it's a delusion at first, that you're going to be, it's not even a delusion, you're going to be established. You figure out what established looks like for you, how to measure it, you'll get there. You stay consistent, you'll get there. But, don't let these people who are making you obsess over getting things done in one day and how to life hack your way to get things done in one day. That's not longevity. That's not longevity. So the things that I try to teach, I try to make sure it's longevity wise. And that's why this course is so important for me to get out there. This YouTube course is so important because there may be one of you who thinks that you're going to be selling beats online, and you do this course and you figure out that you're pretty damn good at growing an audience on YouTube because you now have a system. Now you're going to be killing it there. Avita said, we are not responsible for our success. There are millions of people who are responsible for it. That's a bar. I think people missed out on that bar. That's a bar. So it is your job to show up. It is your job. Like, I'm sitting down right now in the place that I make music. If I want to create special music, I can't guarantee that no matter how many courses I take, no matter will it be special to me? Will I meet that magic moment? Is all dependent upon me sitting myself down, first of all, and being in the direction of my muse, right? I have to show up. I can't lay in bed hoping that I make a fire beat, right? I have to be in my seat, first of all. That's the first step. But if you want that muse that is flying around the room to come get you, that muse is going to find you when you're in the act of doing it. You're in the act of making the music. So show up. But that muse is not going to show up if you're abusing your body, because you're not even going to be open to it. So prepare your body, prepare yourself, take care of your rest, take care of your happiness. Make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it while you're making a beat, stop. And go look at what you actually enjoy. That's my advice. Then come back to it with a fresh mind. Get some rest. I'm about to get some rest. But I wanted to share this with you. Tomorrow that video goes live so you guys will understand why I'm doing a YouTube course. But I appreciate you guys asking questions and chilling with me for a second. This video went a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it's good chopping up with you guys. I will be back. But just know, if you guys don't see me on social media or any of these things, I'm taking the time to recharge from where I pull from. That gives me my energy. So much love to you, much appreciation. Y'all have a good night. I really appreciate you.